Hello there everyone, Twin Game Collector here bringing you another review. Well, if you haven't noticed, it's December, which means Christmas is only a few weeks away. And today I thought I'd do something a little different. This is something I've been planning for a little over a month. Today I'll be talking about some popular Christmas gifts throughout the decades that I happen to own. So without further ado, let's get this video started. Okay, to start off our video, we have Myth Playsets from the 50s and 60s. Well, except this is a reissue. Might as well get this reissue out of the way. This is a partially assembled reissue of Davy Crockett's Alamo, released by Mark's Toys back in 1956, I want to say. Because back in the 50s, Davy Crockett was huge. Like, he was a national phenomenon. Thanks to the Walt Disney TV show. With Fess Parker's Davy Crockett. This is based off the third episode of the show, where Davy Crockett fought at the Alamo. Getting that out of the way, let's get over to these playsets. These are from the late 60s. These are the Mark's Carry-All action playsets. These are made of rugged steel. Well, technically it's tin, but the commercial said these were rugged steel. Basically, you would open one of these up, and you would get this cool, awesome little playset that you could take that was inside. The best part about these was these were portable, so you could carry this around like a suitcase and take it with you to your friend's house or whatever. Or you could take it on a road trip, or to grandmother's house, friend's house, cousins. You could take it just about anywhere. These were really popular. I have no idea how much these cost, but you know, they're pretty cool. I happen to have 3 of them. There were 4 of them. There was Fort Apache. There was the Fighting Knights. Cape Kennedy. And the one I don't have is the Boot Camp, which had Army men. Because, you know, with Cape Kennedy, you had a missile base with astronauts and workers. The Fighting Knights, you had knights and Vikings fighting. Fort Apache, you had cowboys and Indians. I love Fort Apache. It's probably my favorite of 3, with the Fighting Knights being a close second. You know, let's open one of these up. Show you what these will look like. See what you would do. Undo this, and it works better if it's like that. And here we have just a bunch of stuff in here. None of these are complete. No, I bought all these used, but now, this is the basic idea of what the inside will look like. You know, you had 10 little forts, you had plastic figures, and you had little accessories. Pretty cool. Right, now let's move on to our next toy, shall we? Moving on with the video, we have another toy from Mark's. We have from the early to late 70s, I don't know when this came out. This is Navarone Mountain. Yep, I'm guessing based on the movie The Guns of Navarone. This came with, you got the mountain, you got anti-air cannons, which, sorry, dropped the camera there for a second. Okay, anti-air cannons, it came with a bunch of army men, German and Americans. I don't have any of the army men that came with this set, unfortunately. But I have the mountain itself. You know, each floor is occupied by someone different. You know, the Stormtrooper, King Dice, Stormtrooper. We'll get to Star Wars in a moment. Yep, this was a really cool set. This cost, I could be wrong, I think this cost around $20, $30 back in the day. That was a lot of money. But this thing is pure awesome. It looks really cool sitting next to the Death Star. We'll get to the Death Star in a moment, but yeah, this thing is big. It's over 2-3 feet tall. I'm gonna say 1.5, 2 feet tall. This thing is big. Talk about an epic playset. I guarantee any boy in the 70s would have wanted this. Any boy who did have this probably had a great time with it. If you had this in the 70s, you let me know, will ya? Or if you have one of these, let me know. Do you think it's cool? Because I do. Alright, next up on the video, we have Kenner Star Wars toys. Back in 1977, the original Star Wars came out, and it was a huge success. I mean, really huge. No one could have guessed how big this movie would have been. And to capitalize it, Kenner Toys from Cincinnati, Ohio, they decided to take a gamble and make the toys for the film, which proved to be a huge success. These two toys were probably some of the big toys that kids would have wanted back in the 70s and early 80s, because all these toys were sold in some form from 1978 to 1985, when the line was killed off due to lack of interest. Start here, we have Luke Skywalker and his X-Wing. Now this is a cool toy. It had a light and made a buzzing sound to represent battle action. Hold down R2, and the wings will pop open. Lock S foils in attack position. Yep, unfortunately the wings on this don't hold up anymore because that's just how old this toy is. Right, now what are you gonna do? One of the must-have gifts for any kid from the 70s or 80s was the Millennium Falcon. This was the most expensive vehicle you could have bought from the original Star Wars line, as this was a $30 toy, and $30 in 1978 was a lot of money. But you got a lot of cool things with it. You got this movable laser cannon, the radar dish, which is now in pieces. You got cockpits, which could hold 2 of your kind of Star Wars figures. It had battle action sounds. This doesn't make the sounds anymore. It's missing parts, but it's like battle action. There's your landing gear. And the back compartment opens up. Yeah, as you can see, I'm missing a lot of pieces in here. I got this used. But you could have the chess table here. You could have Luke practices lightsaber here. You have the door that opens. Back here, there's a chair. You could hold one kind of Star Wars figure to man the gun. It's pretty cool. And over here, we have the Death Star space station. This was another must-have toy for kids. Yep, it's pretty cool. Yeah, these sides are made of cardboard, but remove the cardboard, you go into the station. You have a working elevator back there. You have a movable laser cannon. Yeah, this doesn't work, but if it did work, it would pop off. Simulate battle action. Open this one up. Yeah, we have this little control bay here. Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff hidden back there. We have some modern Star Wars figures right here. Just ignore them. And here we have the trash compactor. It's non-functional, but you would put your figures in here, you could twist a knob here, close the door, pretend your figures are being squished in there, and then they would escape through this door back here. It was pretty cool. I bet lots of kids had fun with this. It's a fragile playset, yes, but it is still a pretty cool playset. In 1981, we have the AT-AT Walker, the All-Terrain Armored Transport Walker. This is a big toy. This was the most expensive kind of Star Wars toy up to that point. This was $50. There's a handle in here where you could turn the head, go up and down. There's a button that would fire the laser cannons. This was a pretty cool toy. Yeah, I know my mom, she wanted one of these when she was a little kid, but she wasn't allowed to have it because she was a girl and her parents told her she couldn't like toys like this. I made her cry tears of joy when I bought her one of these a few months ago. Yeah, hole in her heart was filled. I don't blame her for wanting this, because this is an awesome toy. Had I had this as a kid, I would have played with it for hours and hours. Because this is an awesome toy. It takes a couple C batteries, but you can hold kind of Star Wars figures in there pretty nicely. I have the ATST driver, the Scout Trooper, we have Imperial Stormtroopers. You can't deny that the figures are popular too. Despite being 3 3/4 inch and we have 5 points of articulation, these were really popular. They're still highly collectible in today's market, especially if they have their original weapons. Now this is a cool toy. Kind of Star Wars ruled from 1978 to 1985. Right, now let's move on to our next toys. The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers, romance in disguise. The Transformers, More than meets the eye. The Transformers. So yeah, if you were a kid growing up from 1984, most definitely you remember the Transformers. Robots that turn into vehicles, and sometimes guns. It was badass. Every boy out there wanted an Optimus Prime and a Megatron. Yeah, the forces of good and evil fighting for the sake of the planet Earth. The Transformers were really popular toys, and they're still going on strong to this day with new movies and cartoons, such as Bumblebee and the Transformers Cyberverse cartoon. Here we have a bunch of the Generation 1 toys. Yeah. And obviously, most kids will know who Optimus Prime is. He turns into a truck. And we have Megatron, who turns into a Walther P-38 handgun. Yep. Due to that, this toy is banned in Australia. But he is pretty badass looking. Even if some of these toys don't exactly look like what they do in the cartoon, Megatron is a good example. You had mini-bots like Bumblebee. We have all the Seekers. Here's Thrust, Thundercracker, Skywarp, Ramjets. I have Starscream in the box. Here's a Walmart reissue. You have the reissue Soundwave from Walmart with inside him we have Buzzsaw, there's Laserbeak. Here we have more cassettes. Here's the blue one is Frenzy, the red one is Rumble. Back there's Ravage, we got Devastator, he's a combiner. Metroplex, Perceptor. Here we have one of the bigger ones. This is an expensive toy. This is Omega Supreme. I must admit, all these down here, these are knockoffs from China, but they look just like the original toys, which I enjoy. Here we have the Stunticons. They form into Bruticus. You have the Insecticons. There's Bombshell, Kickback, Shrapnel. We have Astro Train. Behind here I have Shockwave. He turns into a laser gun. Transformers were pretty cool toys. Yeah, every boy out there wanted at least one of these. You know, you had to have at least an Optimus or a Megatron, but if you didn't have that, you had maybe a Bumblebee, maybe one of the Seekers or cassette tapes. Transformers are awesome. They're awesome toys to collect. I'm glad to show you them in this video. Now let's move on, shall we?